Hello everyone. I welcome you all for the new course on refrigeration and air conditioning. A lot of scholars, scientists and inventors in the world have changed the lifestyle of people through their invention. We are now going to look at one such brilliant inventor named Willis Caviland Carrier. In year 1902, Willis Caviland Carrier, a young scientist just 8 months out of Cornell University, encountered a problem at a printing plant in Brooklyn, New York, USA. Judge, a popular magazine of that era, had a problem. The magazine was printed in color, and the humidity rose or fell, its paper changed dimensions and the colors wouldn't line up properly. Willis Carrier learned that he could remove the troublesome humidity at the printing by chilling the air. He designed a machine that could condition the air by scientifically controlling both temperature and humidity. In the process, he created the world's first mechanical air conditioning system and the forerunner of all modern air conditioners. He founded Carrier Corporation, a company specializing in the manufacture and distribution of heating, ventilation and air conditioning. It marked the beginning of an entirely new industry named refrigeration and air conditioning industry. That is the subject what we are going to learn in this semester. Let's first define and differentiate these three terms: cooling, refrigeration and air conditioning. In refrigeration, cooling occurs, but cooling is not refrigeration. Consider this cup of coffee having temperature around 70 degrees Celsius kept on a table. The surrounding temperature, that is the atmosphere temperature, is less compared to this coffee temperature. Hence, due to this temperature difference, heat will flow from this high temperature coffee to the low temperature atmosphere, according to second law of thermodynamics. Due to the heat loss, the temperature of this coffee gets reduced. This reduced temperature or the minimum temperature can be above or equal to the atmosphere temperature. It never below the atmosphere temperature. In summary, in cooling, heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. It is a spontaneous process. That means it doesn't require any work input or energy input. The driving potential is the temperature difference, and the minimum temperature obtained is always above or equal to the atmosphere temperature. It can't be below the atmosphere temperature. Refrigeration. Let's consider a refrigerator. The space inside a refrigerator, known as refrigerated space, is maintained at a temperature below the surrounding temperature. To maintain this temperature, the heat from this system must be pumped to the atmosphere. However, the atmosphere is the high temperature body and this system is the low temperature body. So it need additional work as per the second law of thermodynamics. The second law states that heat can flow freely from the high temperature to low temperature. It cannot flow freely from the low temperature to high temperature. It can flow with the help of external work. So in summary, in refrigeration, heat is pumped from this low temperature region to the high temperature atmosphere. It is not the spontaneous process. It requires work because heat must be pumped from the low temperature to high temperature. Similar to the water pump. The water pump is needed to pump the water from the lower elevation to higher elevation, that is lower pressure to higher pressure. So refrigeration can be defined as the process of achieving and maintaining a temperature below the surrounding temperature. Sometimes refrigeration is referred as artificial cooling. Air conditioning. In air conditioning, refrigeration occurs, but refrigeration is not air conditioning. In refrigeration, we maintain the system temperature well below the surrounding temperature. In air conditioning, in addition to the temperature, there are certain other parameters need to be conditioned. The parameters are humidity of the inside air, purity and motion of the air and the conditioned space. When all these four parameters are considered, then that refrigeration is called as air conditioning. So in air conditioning, we are considering all these four parameters. In refrigeration, only the temperature is maintained well below the surrounding temperature. So in summary, air conditioning is the simultaneous control of temperature, humidity, purity and the motion of the air in a refrigerated space or conditioned space. Now let's start our discussion on various methods of refrigeration. The various methods of refrigerations are classified into two groups. They are natural and mechanical refrigeration. The methods such as natural ice refrigeration, refrigeration by evaporative cooling, cooling by salt solutions comes under natural refrigeration methods. Ice refrigeration. Ice was the only refrigeration means available for many years. It is still used in many refrigerating applications. Ice is kept in a box called ice box or ice refrigerator to create the refrigeration effect inside the box. The usual ice refrigerator consists of an insulated cabinet equipped with a tray at the top for holding ice pieces. Below the tray there are compartments for the storage. of items. The ice is always kept at the top of the tray for the reason that the cold air always heavy, the warmed air always light. By the movement of cold air to the compartment, storage compartment, this warmed air is pushed up, so the movement of air is caused by only the density variations of the air alone. It doesn't require any mechanical means to create the movement of air. One big advantage of this ice refrigerator is the interior of the cabinet is maintained at high relative humidity. Therefore, the food stored in this type of refrigerator does not dry out easily. However, this type of ice refrigerator can be used to maintain the temperature up to 0 degree only. When it is necessary to use this ice for cooling below 0 degree centigrade, ice and salt mixers may be used, because mixing of salt is an endothermic reactions. Heat is absorbed, by means the refrigeration effect is created. Evaporative cooling. As the name indicates, evaporative cooling is the process of reducing the temperature of a system by evaporation of water. Human beings dissipate their metabolic heat by evaporative cooling, that is by means of sweating, that is nothing but evaporative cooling. Animals such as hippopotamus and buffalo coat themselves with a mat for evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling has been used in India for centuries to obtain cold water in summer by storing the water in the earthen pots. This earthen pots has many small pores on its wall, so the water is leaked through these pores and get evaporated by absorbing the heat from the water inside it. By this way, the water inside the earthen pot is cooled. Nowadays, desert coolers are being used in hot and dry areas to provide cooling in summer. The third method, cooling by salt solutions. As already told, certain substances such as common salt, when added to water, dissolve in water and absorbs the heat of solution from the water. It is an endothermic process. Endothermic means it is a heat absorption process. This reduces the temperature of the solution, that is water and salt solution. The sodium chloride can yield temperature up to minus 20 degrees centigrade, and calcium chloride up to minus 50 degrees centigrade is obtained if it is properly insulated. The various refrigeration systems such as air refrigeration system, vapor compression refrigeration system, vapor absorption refrigeration systems comes under the category of mechanical refrigeration methods. These are the three important methods used almost every place, hence they are very important. So that is the reason we are going to study in detail about these systems. In unit 2 we are going to study about air refrigeration system, unit 3 vapor compression refrigeration system, and in unit 4 we are going to study the vapor absorption refrigeration systems. Vapor compression refrigeration systems are employed wherever the tonnage requirements is less, such as household refrigerators and room air conditioners, such as window air conditioner and split air conditioner, because their tonnage requirement is very less and approximately they are 0.5 tons to 3 tons capacity. Whenever the tonnage requirements is more, such as shopping malls, theaters, auditoriums, we cannot employ these vapor compression refrigeration systems. They can't produce that much tonnage requirements, hence the vapor absorption refrigeration systems are generally used. And air refrigeration systems needs turbine and a compressor to operate it. So these turbines and compressors are costly and need more space, hence they are not used in many places. However, These turbines and compressors are the part of the aircraft propelling systems. Hence, this air refrigeration is employed successfully in aircraft systems. Comparing this vapor compression and vapor absorption systems, the COP of these air refrigeration systems are very low. This is another reason why these air refrigeration systems not employed in many places.